Hello everyone, my name is Meenu and I am a front-end developer specializing in React and React Native. Today I'll be talking about how we can achieve seamless cross-platform development using Tailwind CSS and Nativewind. By the end of this talk, you'll understand the benefits of these tools and how to effectively integrate them into your projects. Here is a quick look that we'll cover today. So we'll know about Tailwind CSS, very basic. I think you all must know its features and its benefits. Then we'll explore how Tailwind CSS can be applied in cross-platform development. By cross-platform, I mean on native devices and on web, both. After that, I'll introduce you to Nativewind, a tool that extends Tailwind CSS for React Native. We'll also go through a case study, best practices, and common pitfalls. And finally, we'll wrap up this session with Q&A. Okay, so what is Tailwind CSS? Tailwind CSS is basically a utility for CSS framework that provides low-level utility classes to build custom designs without writing any traditional CSS. You must be using Tailwind CSS in your web projects for sure, because everybody loves it. Unlike other CSS frameworks, Tailwind doesn't come with pre-designed components, although it has Tailwind UI, which has components. But if we talk about Tailwind CSS in particular, Tailwind CSS doesn't come with pre-designed components. Instead, it offers a set of utility classes that you can combine to create any design. This approach promotes consistency and reusability in your styling of any application. So Tailwind CSS has some key features and benefits. First is utility classes. It offers predefined classes for margin, padding, colors, etc. Then you can make responsive design. There are built-in breakpoints for responsive design. You can use that. Then we have customization option for you as well, because it provides with the config file, and you can extend that config and write the entire config from scratch also. If we talk about performance, it has very small file sizes because the CSS that is not being used, it removes that. So these are all the features. That's why we all love Tailwind CSS and use it in our projects. Now, we'll talk about using Tailwind CSS in cross-platform development. So using Tailwind CSS in cross-platform development provides unified approach to styling. The same set of utility classes that you were using in your web applications now can be used in web and mobile both, ensuring like design consistency is same. Your application looks very similar as your application used to look in web. And we have export for developing cross-platform applications. So for example, there is some Tailwind class that is being applied to a button in a React web application. And now that can be used in React Native mobile application as well. So that simplifies the development process, and you don't need to write the redundant code because that code works for mobile and web for both. So I'll introduce you to Nativewind now. Nativewind extends Tailwind CSS for React Native, bringing utility-first approach to for mobile development. It allows you to write it makes it, as I told you, that it makes it easier to maintain a single code base instead of writing the code for web and mobile both. So let's see how Nativewind compares to Tailwind CSS and why it is beneficial for mobile development. So Nativewind has these features. We can write platform-specific styling, and there is component level customization is also possible. And we can simply integrate the React Native styling system. So I'll show you code how that works in React Native. So you all must be seeing view and text that is being imported from React Native. And I simply applied class name BG yellow 500 border black. So this code works very similar in mobile and web both. So in like web, you must be writing div and then p tag, and writing these class names to apply background yellow 500 and then border black. The same this in the same way, it also works on React Native with same class names, and it also looks very similar on mobile as well. When you integrate Nativewind to your React Native project, it is very straightforward. I'll show you. There are steps to integrate Nativewind to your project. There are different guides for Expo, React Native, and etc. Somebody amongst us also wrote a blog on that. You can simply go to a Nativewind website, and there is a quick start section. You can go to that, and that has a different guides for different projects. If you're using Expo, there's a exclusive guide for that, how to integrate Nativewind so that class names work in that. Similarly, as those class names work in your web projects. So now everything seems so fine. Like you don't need to learn how styling works in React Native very differently, but there are some common pitfalls, and I'll discuss about how to resolve those. If I talk about one use case, platform differences. The issue is the style engine of these devices have their differences, because uh, something on iOS might act a different way from web, and we also need different styling for different platforms. So Nativewind has that solution. We can apply these styles using iOS colon for iOS specific and Android colon for Android specific, and similarly for web, Windows, OS X, and native, we can apply those styles. Suppose you want to give border on iOS but not on web or any other device, you can simply use the identifier iOS colon and give your styling in that. One more difference that I found in Nativewind, um, so while there is flex layouting differences, layout works very differently by default on React Native. So on React Native, it doesn't. On React Native and web, on web specifically, when you use React Native web, the flex direction is different. But on mobile it is column, but on web it is row. So all those differences are also there. But while creating components using Nativewind, you'll have to take care of all these things. That is more specific to platform, but not specific to Nativewind at all. You will need to take care of that. So we can explicitly apply those default classes. Suppose we can set flex direction column in web and native both, to not get confused and write very say like the application should look, the UI should look similar on both the devices. So one thing is that. Then I also found one more difference, that is rem sizing differences. On React Native, the text size is 14px by default, but on web, the text size is 16px. One RM is equal to 14px on React Native, but on web, it is 16px. So to make it, Nativewind does that by default, that it matches the React Native one with native native devices, and on web it maintains the web specific version. But if you want to make it similar, like if you want to set it 16 for mobile and web both, you can simply pass the metro config, and while using with Nativewind plugin, you can pass inline rem 16 to make the size consistent, and it doesn't make any difference while developing for React Native and web. These are very common mistakes that that we didn't see but happens. Yeah, that was basically the pitfalls that I could come across. Now, we are also developing a cross-platform component library in GeekyAnts, that is GlueStack. The version 1 of that was uh, more on our own styling solution, but the version 2 that we will be releasing soon, that is built using Nativewind. Its alpha version is being used. Nativewind alpha version is being used in the components of gluestack-ui version 2. You can check out. It is on staging right now and will be released very soon this month. So you will have an access of that. Yeah, there are other multiple component libraries that are available for cross-platform development. You can also create your own using Nativewind and build your own components and style according to yourself. Yeah, that's it.